Welcome. If we could have, as we begin our program today, we will begin with a 1 minute of silence to remember those that have fallen. Thank you. As we begin today, I want to thank you for joining us here as we celebrate the mission to remember the fallen, honor those that serve along with their families, teach the next generation the value of freedom. As we start today, would like everyone, we are live streaming this event to the George Wallen VA Care Center. If I could have everybody turn here towards the camera and wave at our veterans. Appreciate their service and the great care that they're receiving there. As we would begin today, I would invite all to stand while our Northridge High School Junior ROTC posts the colors, after which they will unfold a veteran's flag. As they conclude unfolding the veteran's flag, we will be led by the Pledge of Allegiance by Dennis Howland, of the retired Sergeant of the United States Marine Corps, after which Chris Patrick, in the Sergeant in the Air National Guard, will lead us in our sing national anthem.
Please, man. On.
Honor guard. Halt. Mark time. March. Forward. March. Ready. Go. Attend. Hut. Bow. Haste. Forward. Arch. Ready. Go. Present.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the most beautiful flag of the greatest nation on earth. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Order. On.
Oh, sick and see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Order. Arms.
Order. Arms.
Forward. Heart. Right. Hands. Forward. Heart.
Thank you. You may be seated. I very much appreciate Representative Lesser coming and being willing to share some thoughts with us this morning. A little bit about Representative Lesser. Rosemary is the daughter of an Air Force C-130 navigator and an Air Force nurse. She grew up living on Air Force bases throughout the U.S. and in Germany. When she was a student at the University of Notre Dame, she entered ROTC and then followed with medical training at the country's only military medical school in Bethesda, Maryland. She served as an Air Force medical officer for 15 years, providing health care for military members and their families in Europe and the U.S. Following her time in the Air Force, she moved to Ogden, where she has lived since 1992. Her husband, Dave, is a graduate of the U.S. Air Force Academy and the Uniformed Services Medical School. Both have continued to serve the community as physicians. We will now hear from Rosemary Lesser.
Thank you so much. On this day, all across our great country, at more than 2,500 memorial sites, we are gathering together to remember, to honor, and to teach. I am grateful to the Lindquist family and the staff here for their support of this mission today and for their many, many years of support and honor to our country's military. And thanks to the wonder of modern technology, it is an honor that we are joined remotely by our local veterans in the George Wallens Veterans Care Center. Today, we remember those who have given their life in the service of our country. The United States of America was founded on the ideals of freedom, of justice, and equality. Our nation stands as a shining beacon of liberty, and we thank those who gave their lives to keep us free, and we will never forget them. Today, we honor all of those who have served and are currently serving our country, including those just a few miles away at Hill Air Force Base. We also honor their families who endure sacrifices every day on our behalf. We should stop to think what our life would be like if not for our veterans who stepped up for all of us time and time again over the course of our nation's history. In honoring our veterans today, we should also thank all of the veterans who have continued to serve their communities long after their service to our country was completed, and I do thank you. Today, we are also here to teach our children and our children's children about the legacy of freedom. We want you to understand that the freedom you enjoy today was not free and have come at a cost that you may sometime in the future be asked to pay. Whether you serve our country flying those jets that we see overhead, or perform any one of many thousands of other professions needed by our armed forces, know that you are part of something much bigger than yourself. For the past several days, a caravan of trucks carrying veterans' wreaths has been coursing from Maine to Arlington Cemetery, and I am uplifted in knowing that my own mother's grave will be honored by veterans and volunteers just like you today. So thank you all who are here today in a united front of gratitude and respect as we remember the fallen, we honor those who have served, and we teach the value of freedom. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Representative Lesser. Today, more than ever, we reflect on our nation's veterans and active duty service members who have had and continue to fight to protect the innocent and oppressed. This nation has always been the first to stand up for the freedom of people from around the world. Many of you here today have answered that call and served your country well. For this, we say thank you and are honored to know you. All of the veterans here today, if you would please stand. Thank you. There are many men and women serving today in all branches of the military, here at home and in places far away, that most of us have never heard of. These men and women are part of the best trained, best equipped force in the world. We honor them and their families for the sacrifices they make each day to keep our country safe from terrorism, hatred, and injustice. This year, we've added an additional ceremonial wreath to honor the men and women currently serving in the U.S. Space Force, along with those veterans who have served in roles helping to secure our national interests in space. Quoting our 40th United States President, Ronald Reagan, "Freedom is never more than a generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it on to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on to them to do the same, or one day we will spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it once was like in the United States where men were free." Today we show a united front of gratitude and respect and honor across the United States of America as we remember the fallen, honor those that serve and their families, and teach the next generation the value of freedom. Our Boy Scout and Girl Scout troops that have joined us today, we appreciate your help. They are reverently holding the wreaths representing the different branches of the service. Those of you that have been asked to receive a wreath, if you would please gather to my left. Now, David Wilson will lay a veteran's wreath in memory of those who have served and are serving in the United States Army. Now, James Dooley will lay a veteran's wreath in memory of those who served and are serving in the United States Marine Corps. Now, Dave Lesser, for his father, John David Lesser, will lay a veteran's wreath in memory of those who served and are serving in the United States Navy. Now, Sherry and Joni will accept a wreath for their father, J. Fred Thompson, will lay a veteran's wreath in memory of those who served and are now serving in the United States Air Force. Now, Farron Johnson, the United States Air Force, will lay a veteran's wreath in honor of those who are serving in the United States Space Force. Now, Ron Ocaña, United States Navy, will lay a veteran's wreath in memory of those who served and are serving in the United States Coast Guard. Now, Ronald Grundell will accept a veteran's wreath for Elijah Aroka, the United States Marine Corps, will lay a veteran's wreath in memory of those who served and are serving in the United States Merchant Marines. Now, Jim and Linda Chrismer with Jelly, and in memory of Mazzy, will lay a veteran's wreath in memory of those who served and are serving as war dogs and animals. Now, Chris Patrick, United States National Guard, will lay a veteran's wreath in honor of the 93,129 United States servicemen from all branches of the service whose last known status was either prisoners of war or missing in action. These individuals have never returned to their families and homes. We shall not forget you. As we prepare to take the rest of our program outside, I would encourage every volunteer here today who places a wreath on a veteran's grave to say the veteran's name aloud and take a moment to thank them for their service to our country. It's a small act that goes a long way towards keeping the memory of our veterans alive. Remember, we are not here today to decorate graves. We are here to remember not their deaths, but their lives. Each wreath is a gift of appreciation from a grateful America. These live balsam fir wreaths symbolize our honor to those who have served and are serving in the armed forces of our great nation, and to their families who endure sacrifices every day on our behalf. To our children, we want you to understand that the freedoms you enjoy today have not been free, but have come with a cost that someday you may have to pay yourself. As a nation standing together, we can defeat terrorism, hatred, and injustice. Thank you again to our veterans for the freedom that we enjoy. We will now invite our bagpiper, Matt Yardley, to come forward. And then I would encourage each of you, row by row, Matt's going to go down this aisle to my left, to follow him out and gather around the wreaths and underneath the canopy at the east entrance of the mortuary for the conclusion of our services.
Right there. Thank you. And you can get a shot over everybody if you want.
On behalf of the American Legion, John W.C. Post 27 of Farmington, the Patriot Guard Riders of Utah, and Lindquist Mortuary, we are honored to provide military funeral honors for all deceased veterans. Our veterans served with us without hesitation to protect the rights and privileges of freedom we all enjoy in this great country. The military funeral honor ceremony we will provide today for these veterans is our privilege. It marks the culmination of the service they have rendered to our country. As you are able, please stand during this ceremony, and as appropriate, place your right hand over your heart in respect of our fallen comrades. If you are a veteran or are in uniform, this is an appropriate opportunity to render one final salute to the one who departed our ranks. The American Legion Rifle Team will fire a 3-volley rifle salute, each volley representing duty, honor, and country. Those of you with small children will want to keep them close to you as the reports report loud. After the rifle volley, shouts will be sounded as a final tribute and a last farewell to these veterans who have passed away. Rifle Team Commander, prepare 3 volleys. Move! Fork! Move! Load! Aim! Fire! Ready! Aim! Fire! Ready! Aim! Fire! Listen! Move!
Thank you for being here, everyone. As we move on to our wreath-laying portion of our program, I'd like to thank all of you for being here, all of those that have assisted in our program in memory of our veterans. We have about 300 wreaths here to place, and many of them will go to other locations. We do have some plastic bags for you that take to other cemeteries to place them in. Those that need to be laid here, to my left, out here where the flagpole is, that entire area there is a veteran section. So every grave there needs to have a wreath. There are lots of other veterans' graves located throughout the Memorial Park. They are going to be difficult to find today. And so we need you scouts and Girl Scouts to use some of the brooms to clear off some of the headstones. You'll be able to, some of them will be marked with showing the branch of service that they served in. Some of them, there's a medallion that is located on the marker showing that it's a veteran's grave. But you'll have to use the brooms to clear some of them off, and hopefully we can find many of them to place a wreath there today. But again, I want to thank each of you for being here today. We have hot chocolate and coffee and lots of goodies for for you there up against the building. But thank you for your attendance, and Merry Christmas to everyone. Have a great day.
Feel free. You guys are welcome to go.
This time we last
Thank you for your service. I'm wondering. No, I'm wondering. Maybe over here? Maybe over there? No. I'm not quite sure.